Okay, sorry about that. My phone literally died, so that's why the video stopped. But I'm still gonna continue. But this video, like, it's important because like it's like talking about the deeper meaning of like self-sacrifice and like how you need to like find someone, not just like romantically, I think, like just like someone, like relationships, that none of your relationships, even if they're not romantic, should be purely you're only working for them on your end, and like your partner should be like on an equal balance with you too, and like they should love you just as much as you love them, and blah blah blah. And I think that's really important, and I think that's what the video was showing, and I think it was really cool. It also showed like the importance of like your comfort and blah blah blah, and like the fact that like I think that like the skin was showing more than just like the skin, like the physical importance of skin. I think he was showing like the symbolical importance too, like throughout society, as I was talking about before. So like it shows that he was willing to shed like the societal importance of what skin is as well, not just like the physical importance of it. And she still wasn't able to like accept him and love him, and like that's a pure example of like tons of relationships that have failed too before, like where like one partner, it's typically the girl who's like the one who's like self-sacrificing, like trying her hardest, and like doesn't get much out of the relationship, which unfortunately is because like yeah, most females are more sensitive than guys, which sucks, but whatever. Anyways, yeah, also like I feel this is gonna sound so weird, but I feel like I'm kind of connecting with like my younger self a little bit while watching these like scary short films and stuff, because like I'm starting to get afraid, like just like this deep like kind of like unsettlement, and like I used to have like this deep adherence to being alone or having a shut door when I was younger. And surprisingly, it even lasted after, because like a lot of the main reason why like I was so easily accessible to my half brother, so like he could like molest me and then later on rape me, was because my door was right across from his, and my door was always open, because I, like when I was younger, like I always had this fear of being alone, and so I felt like with the door open, like I could easily like get help and like have like people close to me. And eventually that ended up to being like leading to one of the causes of like my greatest trauma. And like it's just kind of ironic. And then I still remember like even after that, like I still couldn't stand to leave the door closed, which is kind of ironic because you'd think like after that, like I want my door closed all the time, but I still had this like adherence and like to like being alone, and like still wanted company, and like still hated being alone, much to the fact that like even despite like me leaving the door open, like leading to like my undoing, if you will, if you want to be like poetic or like deep about it, whatever. Like it's, I still like needed the door open because like I just couldn't like keep it closed. And it wasn't until recently when I like started living with my grandma that I just started to keep the door closed as kind of like a defense mechanism, because my grandma is the opposite of my mom. I feel like as a child, like I was like even mildly so neglected by my mom, and like as an effect, also being an only child and now be there, but also as an effect, I feel like leaving my door open all the time and not wanting to be alone all the time was because like I felt like neglected and like wanted attention. And so like I always kept my door open because I was like, oh my god, that's babe, she can like come to me easier instead of me always like running to her, but also that I could run to her easily and blah 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 blah, like all this stuff. And I feel like that's kind of like what my childhood like was about, like always like being open and like always like wanting people to come to me and like wanting the attention. And I feel like after Terry, I mean, I kind of just said his name, whatever. There are like a million fucking Terrys out there, like no one's gonna figure it out. even if his like police records are out there, like whatever. No one's gonna care anyways. But oh my god, I almost feel like Voldemort, because like I haven't said his name in a while, and now I'm like, oh my god, he who must not be named. Like this whole fear of saying his name, like whatever. So my half brother, like after that happened, like I kind of like became more reserved and like quiet and like traumatized, whatever. But I still kept the door open because I was still afraid of being alone. And I feel like the only time that I've actually started to like close my door was when I moved in with my grandma, and like her, like she's kind of really intrusive, like she's nosy, she's always coming in my room for like random stuff, and I just like, it's just an invasive of my privacy almost, and like it bothers me. And it could be just because like I'm an adult, I am in adultolescence and I can't speak, and like maybe that's part of the reason, because like, you know, the whole like thing where like teenagers don't leave me alone, blah blah blah. Maybe that's part of it. But I think part of it is also like kind of like a defense mechanism, because I feel like ever since I kind of like let go of my mom, I've become less attention seeking and more of like reserved and like trying to like protect myself and defend myself almost. And so like moving from my mom, who kind of like neglected me, to my grandma, who's like overly attentive and like pushy and like invasive of privacy and like always coming into my room to like not even talk to me but to talk to my turtle or like look at my shit, and just like it was just, it really bothered me. And so like it's been bothering me, and so like a defense mechanism I guess I used is closing my door. And I was really shocked the first couple times when I noticed, because like I first started noticing that I wasn't afraid of closing the door like about a month after I started developing the habit of closing my door. And then I was like, oh my god, like I'm not afraid to close my door, like this is weird, because like that never happened like throughout my childhood. I was always terrified of being alone. And so yeah, that was weird. And then now like I have like this like need to be alone, but then I feel like now that I've been watching like all of these like scary shorts and stuff, I've kind of like developed part of my childhood back, or reverted back to childhood a little bit, because now I'm like starting to like be afraid to be alone again, and like wanting to keep my door open more, and like can't sleep without the light, even if it's just dim. And it's like scary, and like it like there's like this deep unsettling feeling, like because I just keep watching them and binge watching them, which is like not healthy. And there's just like this deep unsettlement, but like at the same time I really like crave it almost, because like it's giving me back to like my childhood where I was like afraid of being alone, and I always had this like fear of being alone. And like I don't know, I kind of like crave going back to childhood, because as I said before, it's like really, I think I've realized like how to gain self-acceptance, and it's kind of just like learning to like love myself. And I know how, and that's to like get rid of like my self-doubt and my like my fear of like, I have this like irrational fear of like gaining intelligence, or like understanding that I'm not as dumb as I like not pretend to be, but kind of like delude myself into being, and like it makes me dumb sort of, I don't know. And it's like I'm afraid to like accept that I'm not like as dumbed down as I make myself, because I'm afraid, because like I don't really have that many like insecurities about my body image. And then but I have like so many like insecurities about my like personality and my intelligence, and I'm like afraid of like letting those go, because once I let them go, like I don't know how I'll be, I don't know how I'll act, and I'm kind of afraid of that. I'm also afraid of like people's reaction when I change, and I don't know how like I'll be able to handle it, and like what kind of person I'll be when I let go of those insecurities, because I've pretty much had them my entire life. And as much as they're crippling me, they're also kind of like what I've been with my entire life, so I don't want to let them go because I'm afraid to let them go. So I don't know what life will be like without those chains. It's kind of like zoo animals. They're like, once, like, even if they're like not born in captivity, like if they've been in captivity long enough, like you can't put them back in the wild. And that's kind of like how I am with like my insecurities. Like I've had them for so long that I'm afraid to let them go because I don't know how I'll react. I don't know like how I'll be out there in the real world or whatever. And so that, I think that's what's stopping me from like having my whole like self-confidence thing that I'm like envious of other people for having, that I really respect. And I want to try, but at the same time I'm so afraid. And so in essence, I'm kind of doing the opposite, and I'm aware I'm doing the opposite. It's not something subconscious. I'm like aware of it, but like I don't want to change it because I'm too afraid to. And this is me doing something and it's kind of feeling better. And at the same time, like doing something, but also not doing something. Because I'm reverting back to my childhood fears, and they're minuscule, they're not important, but they give me comfort. And in a weird way, like the fears give me comfort because of the familiarity and like kind of like a childhood like thing for me. And it feels better than letting go of my fear and moving forward, because I'm afraid and I would rather pile on more fear than let go of the fear I already have, which sounds literally insane. Like, who does that? Like, who wants more fear rather than letting go of their fear? But I do, because it's what's comfortable and it's what's familiar, and I don't want to let go of the fear. And it sounds so stupid when I say it out loud, but it's just like, it's what's comfortable for me, and I don't want to let it go just yet. And I don't know when I'll be comfortable. Maybe I'll meet someone who like will burst it out of me, or like something, which I'm not counting on. I'm like low-key waiting for the right person or the right moment or something to like trigger me to like break out of my fear or whatever. But like at the same time, like there's this other side of me that's being rational and being like, Angela, you can't just hope for a fucking miracle. You don't even believe in God. Like, what makes you think a miracle is just gonna happen upon you? Like, it's kind of like believing in like fate or destiny, and like it's kind of like impractical. I mean, sure, it gives you comfort in a little bit, but like it's not practical. And deep down, I know that that's never gonna happen, and I just have to do it myself. But right now I'm not ready. And it's gotten so bad that instead of just staying stuck and unsatisfied, I'm adding more fear, because at least I'm doing something. But I'm not, if that makes sense. Because I'm not moving forward, but I'm also not just staying still. I'm moving back. So in a sense, I am doing something and not just staying still, which drives me insane when I just stay still. But I'm also not moving forward. So, in a sense, like, I'm not changing, but I'm also not staying still. I'm moving, but not in a good sense. And I know this, but I don't want to change it. And I don't want to move forward just yet. And I'd rather move backwards. And I don't know if this is going to make it difficult for me moving forward. Probably it will. And I'll probably regret myself and, like, hate myself for this decision. But as of right now, it's bringing me menial comfort, and that's enough. So God, I sound insane. Literally insane. Like, girl, you're fucking insane. Okay. Yeah, but it's better than nothing, in my opinion. So, because I can't stand nothing. So, this is my solution. Which is not really a solution. But it's It's, I don't know. Yeah. But I'm glad I'm recording this because, like, this helps me, like, I have the idea in my head, but it's never cemented until I talk about it. And in a sense, no one understands, like, how I feel better than myself, and to talk about it with myself, like, makes it all better. I sound like a fucking childhood rhyme. Okay, Jesus. But, like, it makes it better because, like, I don't have any fear of judgment because, like, I know, like, it's just me. Well, I mean, it's you guys. And, like, there's obviously gonna be, like, repercussions because, like, people watch my channel. It's public. But, like, it's worth it because my message is getting across not just to me, but to other people, too. And I feel like that's kind of important. But I also feel like if I eventually do get known, like, I'll probably get a lot of hate. And, like, I'm, like, scared of that. And I have my moments where I'm, like, tempted to, like, just, like, delete everything and, like, start over and, like, hate myself or whatever and revert back into just thinking about everything and, like, not cementing it and, like, whatever. And I don't want that. But, like, the fear is, like, kind of, like, scares me a little bit, but, like, I'm just, like, getting over it because, like, honestly, the probability of me being, like, found out by people is, like, little to none. So, like, literally, like, there are millions of people on YouTube, and, like, YouTube is an app, and, like, it's not gonna last forever. So, like, the probability of my videos being found out are next to none. Like, I'm literally no importance to anything. So, like, yeah. But the few people that my videos do reach out to, I hope they make a difference. And, yeah, because this helps me, so it's bound to help someone else, you know? I don't know if that makes sense. Although the irony is that I'm not even helping myself. Like, I'm literally just talking about crippling myself even more than I already am. And, like, but in a way, talking about it helps me understand what I'm doing to myself, even if it is negative. If you know what I mean? I literally sound insane yet again. Hi, I'm insane. Literally be on a psychic ward. Okay. But yeah, I'm gonna... What time is it? It is 9:25. It's a lot later than I thought it was. Okay, I'm gonna do something. I don't know if it's watching videos or going to bed, but I'm gonna do that, either of those, and yeah. When I get awkward or, like, I don't really know what to say, like, there's, like, hesitation and, like, awkward spaces between each and every one of my words, because I'm just kind of like, yeah, and person, thing, you know, the thing, like, that's literally how I talk. And, like, it's so bad. Ugh, it's so bad. Like, I've had it happen in presentations before, too. Or the opposite happens, and I start rambling, and I start sweating, and I start, like, shaking, and, like, I'm about to cry kind of thing. Where I kind of just, like, zone out and just, like, monotone, like, talk about shit. Like, one of those three things happen. Like, but none of them are ever good, and I usually always get at least a C or lower through my presentations, because I just suck at them. Like, I'm so bad at presenting to people. Like, I can't even present to, like, one person. Like, I can't do it. Like, I have to be alone to do it. Like, I can't, like, it's not, I need to get over myself, though. Like, I need to get over myself. It's just, I'm so afraid of judgment, and, like, I need to get over it, though. So, the ironic thing is, I'm not afraid of judgment when I have others with me, but, like, when I'm alone, like, I'm, like, terrified and, like, frozen in fear. I mean, if I'm sure that this thing is good, I, like, am okay with it. Like, still nervous, but, like, if I'm sure that it's good, then I'm okay with it. But, like, if it's something that I'm not sure about, and it's something that, like, I personally like, but I'm not sure anyone else will like. And like I'm afraid of their judgment. Like I freak out and I'm just like, oh no, judgment is coming. Oh my God, I sound like the Bible with Jesus. No, 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 no. Yeah. But yeah, okay. I'm gonna do whatever I do. Bye.